Okay. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, I'd like to invite the speaker, Mr. Rajsekhar Mandal, who will talk about need of micro-irrigation in India. I now request the speaker to begin. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajani. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak on the need of our micro irrigation. I am Rajsekhar. I represent Premier Irrigation Editech, and I have been in this agriculture industry for last 25 years. I have started my career with agri inputs and then moved to the finance sector with ICC Bank in agri, and then have served government of Andhra Pradesh, then had been a part of the startup ecosystem at Chennai, and then finally I am with Premier Irrigation Technologies based out of Kolkata. So agriculture has been, as you are aware of, many people know about agriculture, but agriculture is a very vast subject. Very vast subject. Just to tell you, there are input side in the agriculture and there are output side in the agriculture. Many a times you must be knowing that people are being attracted on the technology side of the agriculture, agri startups and other things. There are new technologies which are also coming up, and they are giving better economics, or the per land income to those technologies. But traditionally, this agriculture as a whole has been very poor on the agronomic practices. We have been hearing agriculture since the green evolutions. Before that, before the green evolution, there was traditional agriculture. And to support this agriculture since 1965, government has been introducing multiple schemes, whether it is on fertilizer, whether it is on agri inputs, farm equipments, tractors, irrigation, and other things. All these schemes, government has various structure around it. What kind of structure? They have departments like agriculture, horticulture, sericulture, forestry, and so many things. And they have even the agriculture engineers, and they have a fleet of resources who are deployed in the field for extension work. What is extension? Any technology which the government conceives, they pass on to the farmers through the lead farmers. These are called the agriculture extension works. And government has a structure out of it, because as you are aware of, ICR is one body, a central body, Indian Council of Agriculture Research, who has been working on various crops, whether it is tomato, pomegranate, cotton, chili, banana, you name it. Including the crop, there are other things also like animal husbandry, aviary, and other things, fisheries, and other things. But yes, ICR has been the foundation or the mother, like RBI in the finance sector. ICR is the motherboard or the main body for agriculture extension office. Currently, you must be also hearing that a lot of talk has been around the FPO segment, whether it is SFSC, whether it is NABARD, whether it is Horticulture Board. There are multiple departments who have been promoting FPOs. The data says it is more than 10,000. The data also says there are 3-4,000 active FPOs. I personally know many FPOs where they are successful, had done a lot of input and output linkages, but FPO concept is not new to the government of India or the social structure around us. Since independence, and you may be since independence, we have a structure of group, and the group of farmer were called as PACs, Primary Agriculture Cooperative Societies. And these primary agriculture cooperative societies in India are more than 1 lakh. They also operate in the agriculture input and output side and multiple things. We will not talk much on other things because, as you know, by these 2-3 minutes, I have been talking so much on the agriculture that if I start speaking on agriculture, it will be huge. And therefore, I'll restrict my entire discussion on the micro irrigation side. Next. In order to bring the discussion more focused, let us also understand as a farmer What are the challenges in the life of a farmer? The challenges for a normal farmer is a farmer follows a other farmer. There will be 2-3% of the farmer who will be the lead farmer or the innovative farmer, but mostly a farmer follows other farmer. And nowadays, as you are aware of, the YouTube, Facebook, the technology side of the the information is also motivating the farmer to adopt new technologies. But yet technology is not very easy to adopt because the external environment parameters changes. A crop variety which is good for Rajasthan may not be good for Northeast. A crop variety which is good for Trichy, say for example for banana, may not be right for Rajasthan. And therefore, it is not only on the technology, but it is in situ. That means proper in that particular field, the environment condition which is created, that technology is important. Coupled with now we have unpredictable monsoon. As you are aware, even this year also we are expecting 30% less rainfall. And the window in which the inputs has to be given. Why I am saying window? Because every crop has different life cycle, life stages, and each life stages demands for different inputs, whether it is seed treatment, whether it is fungicide, whether it is herbicide, whether it is plant growth regulators, or the irrigation, or the you talk about anything, even the field preparation to start with, everything has a little window. And if that window is missed, there is a negative impact on the yield of the crop. There are also poor infrastructure across India, and barring couple of districts or couple of developed locations where there are sufficient infrastructure, but generally there has been poor infrastructure, and therefore the farmer is also having less income for that. There are multiple such reasons. I have mentioned couple of them. You can go through it. But do you know amongst all factors that we have, whether I am talking about the input, whether it is seed, pesticide, fertilizer, farm equipment, machineries, water, or maybe the technology side, what is the critical input for any crop? I'll just deroot myself from the discussion, but I was just going through out of my curiosity, and I came to know that even in Rig Veda or in Vedas, there are more than 300 times water is mentioned. Water is life. Whether it is Veda, whether it is Quran, whether it is Bible, everywhere water is mentioned. Water is known as nectar, water is known as medicine, and there are multiple verses out of it. Water is the most limiting factor. Not for water is, I would say, water is the most limiting factor for life, whether it is human being, animal, or the plants or the crops, because it have multiple activities, whether it is transportation of nutrient, whether it is photosynthesis, whether it is development for the cell, whether it is the regulation of the temperature starting from the root zone to the flowering side, multiple such things. So water becomes the most critical input for any crop or any life. On the global stage, we have seen over last 100 years there has been depletion of water table. Water in the agriculture side contributes about 72% of fresh water withdrawals. Fresh water availability is shrinking nowadays. The fresh water resource amounted to 5,326 cubic meter per capita, which is up to 22 from 2015 to 2022, and it represent a 7% decline. Water is also becoming a stress input. More than 733 million people are getting impacted, which is almost about 10% of the global population. Irrigation coverage is still limited and it is growing. In 2022, the total global area equipped for irrigation was almost about 23%, global cultivated land, and an increase of almost about 1.7% was registered against 2015. One thing which is seen is because of water, the area in the cultivation has increased globally. But without water, there is a deficit in many countries. Similarly, in India, the irrigation coverage is 55% of the gross crop area. This is almost about, I think, 6%, around 6% more than a decade ago. But yet, 45% of the cultivated land is still remain rain-fed, which means it is dependent on the rain god. In the industrial side of the consumption, water consumption, it is around 27%. And you must be knowing, not only it is damaging the river, the lakes, and other things, but it is also shrinking. There are cities where there is a depletion of water even for consumption for household. 50% of the land is still remain unfed, is remain rain fed. So the potential in which the water is required, the potential in which the water becomes a critical input is huge amongst water, and in days to come, in years to come, stress will be there, which will be seen for our next generation. No, I'm talking about water now, and why is micro irrigation so much of importance? Why I'm directly talking about micro irrigation is because traditionally the flood irrigation concept is known to everyone. Let us talk about the new technology side, which is smart irrigation, which is micro irrigation. Normally, people think irrigation means water. Normally, people think, or the concept people know is it is for the transportation of water at a micro level. I would rephrase the requirement is the micro irrigation is required for increase in the yield, because like for a small baby, if you give more milk, maybe 1 glass, 2 glass, 5 glass, 10 glass, it does not grow in 1 year 2x or 5x times. Similarly, if you give more water to any plant, yield does not increases. In fact, yield decreases because of waterlogging, root zone damage, and other things. So the precise amount of water in the root zone helps the crop to grow better, and therefore the yield is seen. Not only yield is seen better, but the quality of the yield is also uniform. Similarly, water micro irrigation also helps in the fertilizer side or the fertigation side of the requirement, wherein precise amount of nutrient can be delivered to root zone. There will be reduction in the wastages. Similarly, the soil does not degrade because you are not using multiple fertilizer or broadcasting of fertilizer across the land. It is targeted to root zone. And this system, this ecosystems help us in building a resilience climate or microclimate. It is also seen because micro irrigation is a is a system in which the water is targeted to root zone. So there are uses of mulching as well, and because of mulching, weeds does not come out, and because of weed does not come out, there is a less labor which is required. Next. Now let me also talk about in the irrigation side what are the various kinds of irrigation. Generally, irrigation is talked about. There are two kinds of irrigation. One is sprinkler irrigation, another is drip irrigation. In the sprinkler irrigation, there are multiple overheads. Say, for example, from 5 meter to 50 meters and more, there are multiple overheads. The what we call is the head unit, but and these are based on the crop requirement. So, say for example, if it uh, is groundnut, it may be different. For a tea crop, it may be different, and therefore there are various kinds of overheads which helps the throw of the water into various radius. In Premier, we have various kind of sprinkler overheads, starting from the lowest to the highest requirement, whether it is tea or coffee. On the drip side, there are multiple kinds of drip. One is the lateral, which in the lateral also there are dripper, which is externally fitted, and we call it online. There are dripper which is inside the lateral, and we call it inline. There are pre-dripper which is used under the ground, and there are class two, class one, which is non-subsidy product, which are called thin tubing. Similarly, mini sprinkler is there, micro sprinkler is there, foggers are there, and multiple irrigation style is there, which is categorized as drip because the water here is micro let, unlike the sprinkler part. What we have been impacting in this sector, Premier Irrigation Technologies, a name which is rebranded recently. Earlier, we were known as Premier Irrigation Agritech, was established in 1965 during a time of Green Revolution. And that time, Premier was basically giving solution to the tea plantation, the coffee plantation, and in that era, the water was transported through ports in various villages. So Premier leadership has went to Government of India, have told them the importance of conveyance of water through aluminium pipe, and later it become the SDP pipe, and then it become the drip line. So Premier has been the forefront leader in creating various schemes. Only for last 10 years, we have served more than 10 lakh farmer. We have since 1965 across India, we have been serving in multiple crops, multiple districts. In the tea plantation and the coffee plantation, we are the pioneer, and we cover more than 80% of the market share. And over a period of time, we have been doing various service camps, training to farmer, which we call as Krishi Seva and Krishi Diksha. Apart from the so in the micro irrigation side, what are the opportunities we have for a farmer, especially for a farmer? So as you are aware of, in irrigation there are subsidies or various government schemes which is there, and these schemes are basically clubbed with central scheme and the state scheme. Normally, we know as Prime Minister Krishi Sinchai Yojana, which is introduced by Honorable Prime Minister. And beyond this scheme, there are cash and carry products also, which we call class one products. On the government scheme side, there are many departments working for it. Agriculture being the primary, but there are states where horticulture becomes the lead primary unit or the agency driving the scheme. There are requirement uh, in the sericulture crop also, basically the mulberry crop, wherein irrigation is given, and in couple of forest areas where tigers is protected, in that area for the settlement of the tribal people, certain schemes are run so that tribal people can cultivate crops. And apart from this, we have in couple of states like Jharkhand, Bihar, Jivika, which is a women cooperative unit. They also run these schemes. Now, in the subsidy side, what you need to understand is this entire scheme is clubbed into two parts. One is the central scheme, which is from the Delhi side or the central government of India, and the other part is the state government. So both together helps the farmer to avail the scheme. Like say for example in West Bengal or Tamil Nadu, it is 100% of the scheme, which means 55%, which is the basic central assistance. Another 45% is given by state as a scheme. But there are states based on their availability of funds, they give various component of the scheme. these are subject to their budget, and every year there is a registration, there is a approval system. So don't go normally by this slide. Please check with your agriculture department, horticulture department, as to what is the current scheme which is going on. In the government side, we have been operating across states, and these are the couple of institutions where we are linked, whether it is PMKSY at Center Delhi, whether it is Stanhoda at Tamil Nadu, whether it is BKSY in West Bengal, GGRC at Gujarat, whether it is WRDD in West Bengal, APMIP in Andhra Pradesh, Horticulture Department in various states, KSTA in Karnataka, and many more. In the agriculture side, we have been transforming soil into gold, and this is our mission, wherein we want farmer to get the benefit out of micro irrigation, and we have been promoting this Chalo Banai Mitti Sona, which is actually transforming the soil into gold. Apart from, we have been operating in multiple states, and we are the leading micro irrigation companies since 1965. We have a factory in the Nagpur. We operate in 25 states. 16, we have 16 physical branches. Our factory is in Nagpur, Butibudi, MIDC area, and another factory near Kolkata, which is Boral. We have various ISO certification, 9001, 14001. We have been operating in multiple districts based on our bandwidth, but currently we are operating more than 250 districts, 16, more than 1600 blocks. We have been serving, we had to serve more than 50 lakhs over last 60 years, and there are many areas of strength that is already mentioned in this slide. Beyond the subsidy also, Premier Irrigation Technologies is operating in many segments. One of the segment is the large commercial farming or the community drip system. We are also prominent in the technology design for sports field irrigation, whether it is landscape irrigation in smart cities or in any uh, parks. We have technological strength, unique designs for dust to suppress, whether it is cement yard, whether it is coal yard, whether it is mining. And we have been pioneer in the plantation, large plantation, whether it is 100 hectare, 200 hectare, 500 hectare, 1000 hectare, both in the drip and sprinkler side. We have been also operating in the road median in Hyderabad, outer ring road. We have given service, or we have designed the outer ring road for the road median in which plantation is there. There are a couple of technological advancement where we have also been there, which is especially in the fertigation side, because there are laterals who can go to specific root zone, with that water can be transported to specific root zone, and it helps the fertigation side. It helps for precise nutrient delivery. It increases the economics of the farmer by having less wastages. The crop is uniform, the yield is uniform, the quality is uniform, and timing can also be ascertained. Similarly, there are automation system wherein if you are remotely present somewhere, you can operate. We have many farmers where we have served. The actual farmer is living somewhere else in cities, and he is operating through his mobile, wherein by click of in certain apps, he, a farmer can regulate uh, the water which is required for their field. Similarly, in the new side of the technology, greenhouse is also, we have been helping farmers in the greenhouse with the foggers. This help precise water, humidity management, disease reduction, water conservation, and improved quality. These are specifically for high valued crops. We have been also operating in something new, which is on the poultry side, because as you know, in the summertime there is a lot of heat which is generated, and for which a lot of poultries, a lot of chickens, they get severely damaged, or they die basically. So in order to manage the humidity, foggers are being installed, and there is a unique design which we have prepared. Similarly, in the pipeline, in the mines, especially in the coal mines, the requirement for pipeline for slurry is something where we have our design strength, and we have been operating for many years on these lines. We have been also a part of the solar panel cleaning, and this is a large, big industry wherein a lot of labor is required for remote solars. And we have been cleaning those solar panels through automation, and we have our own product design and strength to execute remotely. We have certain footprints across the world, and couple of projects we have executed. Few examples are in neighboring countries, like whether it is Bangladesh or Nepal or Sri Lanka, few distant places like Jamaica, Philippines. Next. These are our client lists, and these are from the project side of the requirement. We have been also promoting micro irrigation through our digital initiative. We have our Facebook, we have our YouTube, we have our LinkedIn, and there are multiple success stories are uploaded. Crop related modules are uploaded, and we request the farmers to go through that. Many of them are mostly in the regional language, whether it is Gujarati, Kannada, Telugu, Tamil, and we encourage that to get updated on the new technology of the irrigation, they can avail our digital channel. With this, I thank Agriculture Information for giving us the opportunity. I hope I have managed my time helping life grow. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Rajsekhar, for the detailed presentation on time. You have completed it. Okay. So I'll take up some questions now. Few might be you already answered. Still, I'll read out them.
Sure.
So, why is micro irrigation becoming essential for Indian agriculture today?
Rajniji, mostly micro irrigation has been known for water requirement, but I would say because I have been deeply involved in the irrigation side for last 6 7 years, wherever I meet the farmer talks about the yield first rather than the transportation of water. Yes, there are water level stress. Water table has decreased. Say for example, in Coimbatore city itself, from 600 foot to 1200 foot has gone in last 7 to 8 years, which means there is an increased level of your digging required to generate that water. But more importantly is wherever irrigation is there, they are getting uniform quality, they are getting better yield, there is a less damage to the the stress environment the crop goes through, and therefore I would say water is required for yield rather than only transportation of the water. Rajniji.
Okay. Yeah. And which crops benefit the most from drip and sprinkle irrigation systems?
Sorry, I could not hear properly.
Which crops benefit the most from drip and sprinkle irrigation systems?
So this question needs to be little rephrased, because I'll tell you why I am saying, because this is based on the science part of it. Sprinkler is basically for those crop where the spacing is less, which means plant to plant, row to row, and wherever there is a dense coverage of the leaves in the land, there sprinkler is required. Like say for example in your paddy, groundnut, any leafy vegetable. But wherever there are distant from plant to plant and row to row, there are specific drippers or size of the length of the drippers is matters. So, for example, in ginger, banana, turmeric, grapes. So, based on the crop, sprinkler and drip are used separately. I would not say that certain crops both drip and sprinkler can be given, and certain crop only drip can be given. I hope I have clarified it properly.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. And how much water and fertilizers can farmers save by adopting micro-irrigation?
Yeah, so again, this is a very interesting question because there are two different data points. One is saving of water and saving of uh, fertilizers. So in the sprinkler side, the saving of water can be from 30% to 40%. In the drip side, it is more than 60 to 70%. On the nutrient absorption, I would say rather than wastage, the absorption of nutrient, which means had it been it was in the open field, 10-15% is only utilized because we are broadcasting in the field openly. But when you are giving in the root zone, more than 90 to 95% is utilized, which means reduction of 5 to 10% only. So in the lesser quantity of the fertilizer, you are getting better yield.
Okay. And what is the payback period for installing a micro-irrigation system?
I'm sorry, I could not catch.
That's good. What is the payback period for installing a micro-irrigation system?
Payback period with respect to.
Micro-irrigation system
You mean to say if
for
some farmer
installing, yeah,
buying and getting the benefit, you are saying?
correct, yeah.
So just to tell you, Rajni ji, and since these are a real asset, Government of India has been promoting various schemes. Like I have mentioned, in West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, it is 100% free. That means the farmer is investing only the GST portion, and GST portion is hardly 6%. Therefore, I would not say even the payback period is even 1 year. However, there are certain states where only the central government's part is there, which is 55%. 55% means suppose the unit cost is 1 lakh rupees for a drip, a farmer will get 55,000. And in order to have this 55,000 in 1 acre, 1 year is sufficient basically because any crop, whether if it is horticulture, you are getting more than 55,000. But yes, from a mathematical point of view, we can say it is 3 to 7 years because if you divide it into the EMI part or the as an installment, it can be 5 to 7 years. I must also say, Government of India is giving 7 year guarantee of the asset, and any manufacturer, including us, we are abide by the policy to give service for any maintenance for 7 years. Rajani ji.
Okay, yeah. And how can small and marginal farmers adopt micro-irrigation with limited investment?
So I think this is a very interesting question as how fragmented land owners can avail micro irrigation. So in the irrigation side, like I said, there is one is the drip side, which is mostly costly because for 1 acre it is 1 lakh rupees. Now, if you go on the sprinkler side, for 1 acre it will be 20 to 25,000, maximum 30,000. So one is adopting the sprinkler can be beneficial. Number two, even if the farmer does not have much land, which is smaller, even 1/4 of 1 acre, then there are certain drip kits which are available. For us also, we have been supplying easy drip kits, wherein you can have one tank in certain heights and automatically you can have laterals and they will go like a dripper. So both for under this scheme and without this scheme, even for small farmer or for rich farmers, such facilities are there. Rajni ji.
Okay. And yeah, what are the common maintenance issues such as clogging and how can farmers prevent them?
Yeah, so clogging is the major issue found in the drip side, and therefore, time to time, acid treatment is required. Across various states, there is a delivery channel which is a dealer or a channel partner with any manufacturer. They can reach to any dealer or channel partner for any manufacturer. ask for any service team member, service guy, or the installer or the fitters, and they can help with the acid. There is a dilution of acid which is required, and that will help us declog the drippers. Similarly, the water filter has to be also cleaned time to time. Normally, after every season, a farmer cleans that, and this is normal because if you only open the filter, clean it through tap water, and again install it. So these are the major two things which is required for maintenance part.
Okay. And it's regarding the government subsidies. So, despite government subsidies, the adoption of micro irrigation remains low in many regions. So, what are the major technical, economical, and behavioral barriers, and how can they be overcome?
Yeah, no, so I'll not agree with the demand is low. In fact, I would say the supply is less. So government has restriction for their own fund, and since there is a scheme which is operating in 100% levels, the government farmer expect that I will get it in free. Only investment is the GST component. This has been a mindset of the farmer that if I'm getting in free, why should I pay 50%? So if you see whether it is Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, West Bengal, any state where 100% is given, the demand is so much that the manufacturer cannot supply. In certain states like Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, MP, where at least 25% subsidy is there, there is a component of farmer share, which is 40 up to 45%. There is a share which is required, and because of the economic condition of the farmer, he may invest, he may not invest, but yes, there is no limiting in the production side. Only limiting is on the fund of the government, state government, and the central government to promote it. Rajni ji.
Okay. So, just two more questions. How can micro irrigation systems be integrated with precision agriculture technologies such as soil moisture sensors, weather based irrigation scheduling, and AI to improve farm profitability?
Yes. So let me tell you, from a smart irrigation system, which is from a drip and sprinkler side, how can more advanced technologies can be integrated. One is nowadays what is prevalent is solar based micro irrigation system, which means there are solar panels to it. There are pumps which is given by the government of India as schemes, and there are irrigation systems. So there are three different systems. One is the solar panel, second is the pump, and third is the irrigation assets. Coupled up with this, there are also soil moisture sensors, which are actually purchased outside the scheme. These are available with certain manufacturer. There are many companies in Delhi, Hyderabad, Bangalore who supplies the soil moisture. So that is a separate asset wherein farmer can know how much water is there in the soil. Based on that decision, a farmer can bring water or transport water to the field. Similarly, there are automation assets, which means there are machines who will turn the valves on and off, and therefore water can be transported. Rajni ji.
Okay. What new technologies or innovations is your company developing to make micro irrigation more affordable and efficient for Indian farmers?
So, from a manufacturer side, uh, the challenge has been always the quality of the asset that we produce, and every year, because raw material prices increases, giving the best quality is the challenge for any organization. So we have been working on the backward integration with a lot of vendors. Apart from that, we have already started introducing the automation part, various kind of couplers which will give us error free water transportation in the sprinkler side. We have also worked in various sizes or the thickness of the lateral, which gives better uh, life to the lifespan to the lateral. So these are a couple of innovations that we have been doing.
Okay. And which innovations do you believe will have the greatest impact on making micro irrigation affordable and accessible to small and marginal farmers over the next 5 years?
I think nowadays irrigation, what the traditionally micro irrigation has been two side. One is the drip side, another is the sprinkler side. But recently, mini sprinkler is one segment which is growing in multiple. It is growing in 2x, 3x time. Why I am saying this? Because in sprinkler there are overheads and there are cases for theft. In the drip side, there are lateral. After one season, you have to roll it back, and therefore in between there is a product which has come, which is we need to have the LLDP, which can be installed under the ground, so there is no requirement for PVC, wherein the prices reduces, and there are low cost overheads wherein it can sprinkler as a fogger or the water droplet is less. This technology for last 6 7 years, this is multiplying like anything, and this technology will help the farmer in lower price, better quality. Rajani.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Rajsekhar, I don't see any more questions. So now we have come to end of question round. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, we'd like to thank you for a very detailed presentation answering all the questions in depth. So we'll be ending this meeting now.
Thank you, Rajni. Pleasure is mine.
Yeah. Thank you, Abhishek, and thank you, Nilo.
Thank you.
Thank you.